Samson one day went to Gaza, where he saw a prostitute and went in to spend the night with her. The people of Gaza learned he was there, so they surrounded the city gate all night, planning to kill him at dawn. But Samson got up at midnight, took hold of the doors of the city gate with the two posts, tore them loose along with the bar, lifted them to his shoulders, and carried them to the top of a hill facing Hebron. Later, Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah in the valley of Sorek. The rulers of the Philistines approached her and bribed her with 1,100 shekels of silver each to find out the secret of his great strength so they could overpower him. Delilah repeatedly asked Samson to reveal the secret and how he could be tied up and subdued. Samson first told her a false secret. If he were tied with 7 fresh bowstrings not dried, he would become weak. Delilah tied him with bowstrings, but he easily snapped them. She then asked again. This time he said if he were tied with new ropes never used, he would become weak. She tied him with ropes, but he broke free. Finally, he told her the true secret. If his 7 braids were woven into the fabric on a loom and tightened with a pin, he would become weak. While Samson slept, Delilah wove his 7 braids into the fabric and tightened it with the pin. But when she called, Samson awoke, pulled up the pin and the fabric, and regained his strength. Delilah nagged him day after day until he got sick of it and finally told her everything. That no razor had ever been used on his head because he was a Nazirite dedicated to God from birth, and if his hair were shaved, his strength would leave him. When Delilah saw he told her the truth, she sent word to the rulers of the Philistines to come back with the silver. While Samson slept on her lap, she called someone to shave off his 7 braids, causing his strength to leave him. She then called to him that the Philistines were upon him. Samson awoke, but did not realize the Lord had left him. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, bound him with bronze shackles, and put him to grind grain in prison. However, his hair began to grow back after shaving. The rulers of the Philistines assembled to offer a great sacrifice to their god Dagon and celebrated that their god had delivered Samson into their hands. They brought Samson out to entertain them in the temple, where about 3,000 people, including all the rulers, watched him perform. Standing between the 2 central pillars of the temple, Samson asked the servant holding his hand to put him where he could feel the pillars that supported the temple. Samson prayed to God to strengthen him one last time so he could get revenge on the Philistines for his 2 eyes. He put his hands on the 2 pillars, braced himself, and pushed with all his might. The temple collapsed, killing the rulers and all the people inside. Thus Samson killed more in his death than during his life. His family later took his body and buried him in the tomb of his father. He had judged Israel for 20 years.